I am confidence. I am confident. I am confident. I remember the moment, quiet, ordinary, when I realized I'd been leaving myself behind. Not dramatically. It wasn't like all at once, but in small ways, like every day. I'd ignore the tightness in my chest. I would talk myself out of much needed rest. I would say yes when my mind and my body said no. I would feel compelled and led to explain things that I didn't owe explanations for. I would stay longer than I should have. I would shrink when I felt misunderstood. And I called it being patient. I called it being loving. I called it being strong. In reflection, the truth is, I was abandoning myself. You know, that self-trust, it's not something that disappears like overnight. It eroded slowly every time I told myself it was not that serious when it really was. Every time I silenced my intuition because it was inconvenient. And I abandoned myself because I never really expressed my needs. So how can needs be met that were never expressed? In that, I never really gave myself a chance to be honored. And here's the part we don't say enough. You cannot build confidence while constantly overriding yourself. Confidence doesn't grow in self-betrayal. Can't betray yourself and then think to trust yourself or have confidence in yourself, in your own word, in your own being. So one day I just stopped. Now it wasn't anything perfect. It was not perfectly. It was not loudly. I simply stopped arguing with my inner voice. I stopped rushing past discomfort. I stopped negotiating my boundaries in my head before anyone even asked. I let my body speak. I let my feelings be data. I let my no stand without justification. Let your no's be no. And something changed. Not externally at first. It was all internal. I felt steadier. I became less reactive, less desperate, if you would, to be understood. Because when you stop abandoning yourself, miraculously, you stop being needed to be rescued. Again, stop abandoning yourself and you won't need to be rescued. Confidence didn't arrive with fireworks. It arrived as relief. It came as a quiet knowing, a sense of being on my own side for once or again. And that's when I understood. Self-trust isn't confidence's reward. Self-trust is the foundation. So today, this is my inner conversation. I listen to myself now, even when it's uncomfortable. Especially then. I don't override my signals to be acceptable. I don't abandon myself to belong. I stay. Because every time I choose myself honestly, confidence gets a little closer. I trust myself. Confidence follows. I am definitely on my way. I trust myself. Confidence follows. I am confident. I am confident. I am confident.